This is how Meghan Markle reacted to all the negative headlines. She's always been so independent, her entire life, and that's all been taken away from her. Meghan Markle was the most Googled person of 2018, and while she was a star in her own right before she started dating Prince Harry, interest in the former Suits star has only grown since the couple got engaged, married and announced that they are expecting their first child, all in the space of a year. But Meghan has been the subject of many negative headlines over the last few weeks. Despite the fact that the Duchess of Sussex is believed to be around 6 months pregnant, she has been working hard to advance girls' education behind the scenes, even meeting up with Michelle Obama to see how they can both work towards the worthy cause. However, she has also been mummy-shamed for cradling her bump too much, slammed for breaking royal protocol at the British Fashion Awards, and let's not forget the alleged feud between herself and her sister-in-law, Kate Middleton. She was even given a chilling warning from her sister, Samantha Markle, who made a rather bizarre reference to Anne Boleyn's ghost walking the tower with her head in her hands. Right. But how has Meghan reacted to all the rumors and criticisms? While she has not addressed any of the rumors or speculation directly, according to a new report, she is frustrated that she cannot stand up for herself. A royal insider spoke to Us Weekly. She's always relied on her own voice to stand up for others, and for herself. So not being able to say anything is a debilitating feeling. She's always been so independent, her entire life, and that's all been taken away from her. She's always been able to clap back on social media and now she can't. If this is the case, it's completely understandable. However, considering she is due to welcome her little one in a few months, we're sure the Duchess has more important things to be worrying about than tabloid gossip. Recently, news broke that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have elected to move away from Kensington Palace, and out of London entirely. Instead, for their official residence, the couple have chosen Frogmore Cottage in Windsor, a home about 45 minutes outside of the city that was a gift from the Queen. It took no time at all for the rumors to begin swirling. And this was not the delightful kind of speculation, like whether the couple's new home will include a nursery for their upcoming baby, or if they chose to live in the cottage for nostalgia's sake, since it was also the site of their wedding reception. Instead, the news cycle surrounding the next generation of royals has taken a darker, but, sadly expected, turn. The latest gossip? Since the Duchess and Prince Harry are moving away from Kensington Palace, where Harry's brother Prince William and his wife Kate Middleton live, there must be a feud between Markle and her sister-in-law. The chatter immediately caused me to roll my eyes. Of course everyone was jumping to the conclusion that there was bad blood between the latest two women to join the royal family, rather than the actual, brothers in the family. And of course no one is considering the more likely explanations that maybe, just maybe, the couple who is known to bend the rules of royal protocol from time to time just wanted to do something different, or even start their family somewhere slightly more private than Kensington Palace. But, nope, we all went straight from their moving to the assumption of a full-on, claws-drawn catfight. Suddenly, anonymous sources are piping up with tales of strife. Markle is now being painted as difficult and demanding. And there's a new story of the alleged time, according to the Telegraph, that a bridezilla Markle caused Middleton to have a tearful meltdown after the bridesmaid dress fitting for Princess Charlotte. What a coincidence that, at the slightest hint of a rift, sources are all of a sudden eager to share these tidbits. Headlines like Kate and Meghan, is the royal sisterhood really at a breaking point? And the fractured royal relationship, how Meghan Markle made Kate Middleton cry, are everywhere. American outlets are citing a British tabloid that leaked their story with the header, "Why It's No Surprise Sexual Meghan Markle and Introvert Kate Middleton Are Having a Royal Rift." Royal correspondents are weighing in to say that, oh, you didn't know? Middleton and Markle were actually never very close. According to one source cited in the Daily Mail, in fact, Kate and Meghan are very different people. My question to said anonymous source: how many folks do you know that have a super tight relationship with their sister-in-law? To the media's credit, so far, they've all let Markle and Middleton's relationship play out fairly peacefully. As a matter of fact, I'm actually surprised that rumors of a feud between the two didn't come the sooner. Back in July, body language experts even weighed into the Daily Mail and determined that, surprise, the two were really, truly friends. And there are indeed a few outlets, like Vanity Fair and the Times UK, who have reached beyond the catfight trope and suggested that perhaps the tension is actually between Prince Harry and his brother Prince William. But a look around the internet, and the resounding consensus seems to be, girl fight. It was, I suppose, only a matter of time before popular culture pitted these two women against one another. After all, the media fanning the flames between public female figures, whether any animosity between them actually existed to begin with or not, is a dynamic we've seen play out time and time again. Everyone from the starlets like Joan Crawford and Bette Davis to Nancy Kerrigan and Tonya Harding, Taylor Swift, and Katy Perry, the cast of Sex and the City, and Cardi B and Nicki Minaj have been fodder for endless headlines, and, now, social media posts, speculating just how much these women hate each other. Next month, the 16th-century story of the fatal feud between Mary Stuart, Queen of Scots, and her cousin, Queen Elizabeth I of England, is the subject of the feature film Mary, Queen of Scots, starring Saoirse Ronan and Margot Robbie. An epic beef that will still earn headlines nearly 500 years later. It seems that, long before the internet or tabloids or even the radio, seeing two women go head-to-head has been one of society's oldest and most voyeuristic games. And to be fair, many of the women involved aren't necessarily innocent. As viewers witnessed in the based-on-true events, aptly named FX series feud, Davis and Crawford's animosity toward one another ran deep. And though Cardi B and Nicki Minaj have both pointed fingers at the other for the genesis of their rift, Cardi did lunge at Minaj with a shoe at a fashion party. Still, perhaps that competitiveness wouldn't have started in the first place had society not placed the expectation on women that there isn't room for more than one of us at the top. Colleen Schaefer is a journalist and author of this year's Text Me When You Get Home, The Evolution and Triumph of Modern Female Friendship. She wrote the book, she told me, because she was tired of the stereotypes that women can't be friends or get along because they're jealous of each other. The women she knows, she says, are nothing like that, though they're often sent the opposite message. When I was researching my book, I found that catfights have been around forever. The first use of the term was actually in 1854, when a writer described the fighting he witnessed between women in a Mormon house, Schaefer says. Fast forward to 2018 and you still can't see two women disagreeing with each other without someone hissing in the background, "Ooh, catfight." But it's like, hello, two women can disagree and argue, or maybe not even be best friends. But that doesn't mean we have to sit here and egg on Meghan and Kate to pull each other's hair out. While sipping tea about which female celebrity is fighting with whom might sound like harmless fun, it instead perpetuates a problematic cycle. That seemingly innocuous celeb gossip trickles over from pop culture to boardrooms, families, and even personal friendships, hammering home the message that there can only be one queen bee. And that breeds a culture of resentment and competition between women, rather than one of empowerment and support. But Deborah Borisoff, a professor of media culture and communication at New York University, told me that we shouldn't necessarily point the finger at the media, but at ourselves, the consumers of gossip that keep the snark machine churning. Yes, these headlines may be rooted in the fact that Meghan and Kate are both women, but it's likely also just news outlets reporting on a story that brings two do-gooders down a peg, because the media knows that it sells, Borisoff says. The reality is that as humans, we enjoy celebrity gossip because we put these people up on pedestals, and then relish anything that shows a chink in their armor. People read those stories, because we all just want to see that celebrities are human, too, so we can relate to them. I am admittedly one of those people, one of the guilty ones who thirstily slurps up any and all gossip and sends links to all my friends for discussion. And like millions of other people, I'm particularly prone to spreading stories and speculation about the royals, the product of a mother who incessantly followed Princess Diana's every move in the 80s. But in this particular case, I'm hoping that we can all let the Meghan-Kate rumors go. We can do it, people. We can do better than falling into the same, tired old trap of assuming women are nothing but evil, jealous characters ready to tear one another down. But innocent fun like fawning over Prince Harry, guessing baby names, and gasping over little-known royal family trivia. That I am all here for.